Guys, Georgia Tech just beat Georgia, and, it was a crazy shocker. Shocked the entire world. Upset Georgia. Well, actually, that's not what the score says. 16-9, unfortunately, but, Georgia won. Unfortunately, but I really consider it a win for us, Georgia Tech. I really consider it a win for us because of how well we did on defense. And I feel like our offense should have done much better, but our defense played to the point where I consider it a big win. We played our hearts out. Defense played our hearts out. Our defense played their hearts out. Now, the offense, they didn't play their hearts out. They definitely didn't play their hearts out. They could have done much better. But I'm going to react to a bunch of big plays that happened in the game and my favorite plays. And then I'm going to start talking about, my thoughts about the game. So here are some big calls and big plays that happened. So it was punted away to us. And unfortunately, we dropped the ball and had to take it out of bounds, which I like that decision because, I don't know where else he was going to go, to be honest. But, that was kind of bad. Here's this throw right here. Third down conversion, 3rd and 11. That was a third down conversion. That was crazy throw and catch right there. Proud of that. Check this crazy interception out for Georgia Tech. Watch this. Ooh, watch that. We intercepted the ball right there. I honestly wasn't even able to, realize that we intercepted the ball. It was going so fast when I was watching it live. Good play on offense. Weren't very many of those. It looks like there were, but there really weren't throughout the entire game. That was a crazy hand scheme play, by the way. I don't know how we stayed up. Here's Aidenberg kicking inside 40 yards for the first points of the game right here, putting us up 3 points. Unfortunately, that was our only lead of the game. 3-0. I loved it. This defense right here holding him back from completing the catch. I loved it. That was great. Pushed out of bounds. W defense right there. I just really like the effort on this play right here when it's thrown right here, and he tries to intercept it. I love the effort. And then this crazy run by the king himself, Haynes King, right here, running right there. Yes, sir. Aiden Burr lining in right here for the second score of the game for Georgia Tech right there. Now it is 13-6. So W. Aiden Burr. This right here with the pass. Look at that. Staying strong. Yes, sir. And Aiden Burr lining up for the third score of the game for Georgia Tech. And it is good, 16-9. What a night for Aiden Burr. And then this play right here being thrown to Isaiah Canyon and him, jumping out of bounds very quickly. We'll talk more about that later on in the video. Now let's talk about my thoughts on the game. I really enjoyed watching this game. I thought that Georgia Tech would win. I had a very strong feeling that we'd win. I also had a very strong feeling, win or lose, I had a very strong feeling that we would have a big game in general. And that really did happen, even though, like I said, offense was kind of mid. Defense was incredible, though. It was a very great game to watch. It was because it was already kind of really a defensive game. 16-9. People expected Georgia to beat us by 30 or 40 points. Maybe even 50. That would have been crazy, by the way. I think I already said that, though. That would have been incredible. No, not incredible. That would have been incredible for Georgia. That would have been crazy. But, that didn't happen. And I always have faith in Georgia Tech. I thought we'd win by 6. This is what my actual thought process was. I thought we'd win by 6. And I thought it would be 35-29. But unfortunately, we didn't. But I still look at this game as a win because of how well we did. Our offense, I just showed you guys a bunch of clips that, and I talk about how much I love the plays on offense. Well, I did love a lot of the plays on offense, but you got to put into consideration a game is 3 hours. I mean, it was 3 hours. And, to be honest here, there was only 2 minutes of plays that I loved, and a lot of them were also defense. So, yeah, there's really not as much as you think. And if you were watching the game, I know you would see what I mean. The highlights are only going to show you highlights, not lowlights. And there were more lowlights than highlights. If you check out the highlight video, actually, they actually have it to where it's punted away to Georgia Tech, and it immediately skips to Georgia back with the ball because Georgia Tech didn't have any highlights on the drive. Offense wasn't too great, but I'm proud of them for playing hard enough, to keep their team in the game. I feel bad for them. I know they wanted to beat Georgia. They just didn't come out with no, they came out with the confidence. Even the offense came out with the confidence. I really believe so. But then they just faded away. But the defense, I think the defense played an incredible, outstanding game throughout the entire thing. Now, I say throughout the entire thing, there were some plays they let Georgia run straight up the middle. That's obviously not incredible for Georgia Tech fans. But it's fine because we played incredible defense on other plays. This was a great Clean Old Fashioned Hate game. Clean Old Fashioned Hate is definitely my favorite rivalry. To hell with Georgia, by the way. This team sucks. And when I say sucks, I don't mean they're bad. I just hate them. I hate them to death, bro. I don't like Georgia. I hate Georgia. Georgia needs to be beaten by, next year by Georgia Tech. I'm rooting for them, and I'll be making a video next year, by the way, too. I don't really know what else much to say. We had an outstanding game, and like I said, I consider it a win. It's that big. I really do consider it a win. It was gonna be played in Bobby Dodd Stadium. I wish it was, but it was played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I was a fan of that, but I also I really wish it was in Bobby Dodd Stadium. I feel like that would have been more. I know that would have been more. Like the fans would have loved it more. It would have been a better environment. Probably a little more Georgia Tech fans. Probably, I'd have to guess. Technically, it was Georgia Tech home game, but just not at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And Georgia Tech got paid to do it at Mercedes-Benz. Got paid big time money. I honestly wish it did it at Bobby Dodd Stadium, though. Anyways, Georgia didn't play too great either, let's be fair here. But our defense was also outstanding. So, I think even if Georgia did play a good game, our defense would have at least held them below 25. At least. Even if Georgia did play a good game, I think our defense would have at least held them below 25. That's a very, very good thing. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments who you wanted to win. If you wanted Georgia to win, get out of here. I'm joking. Don't get out of here. I'm sorry. That was mean. But yeah, we're Georgia Tech fans around here, or at least I am. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else much to say. Here are the stats right here. Passing, rushing, receiving, defense, punt returns, kicking, punting. Yeah, obviously slow all these down if you want. Passing for Georgia Tech, rushing, receiving, defense. This is a long list, so I'm gonna kick returns, punt returns, kicking, punting. Like I said, you can definitely slow it down if you want to actually see the stats. But, those are the stats right there for you. Honestly, quite close. A lot of them are actually very far. So, that's why I said it's very lopsided, quite lopsided. I think that's about it. Here's the ending plays right here. We get the ball punted, back to us. With 15 seconds left to go. 13, but it gets re-put to 14 seconds. So we got 14 seconds. We got to throw all the way downfield. We get a touchdown, PAT, tie ball game, and we send it to overtime or go for 2, and win the game. So he steps out of bounds right there. That was good. Okay, you could tell everyone out there is nervous. I was very nervous watching this myself. Could imagine how the players felt. He throws it out here to Isaiah Canyon. Great save with 1 second left to go, and great throw, great catch. I am very proud. He saved it. So they have 1 second to throw it like 40 yards, I think. Something like that, like 40-something yards. So, not much, but there's still time, We got like literally one more. There's no way you do more than one play unless it's like holding or false start or something on the defense. I don't. Okay, so he heated it up. He heated it up. Unfortunately, no good. And Georgia on paper, like I said, wins it. I don't know why the idiot's waving like he just blew us out or something. I don't know what the moron's doing. Yeah, that was a great game. Very proud of Georgia Tech. I seriously look at it as a win. But let's get them again next year. How about that? Yeah, sting them.